Good evening, everyone.
Hey,
Good
what's
evening,
up,
everybody.
everyone?
How's it going?
I was paying total attention. Total. I was there. I was in.
Did any of y'all ever get the feeling sometimes when you're hearing fibs, like the little hairs in your ear, they kind of tingle a little bit?
If I had hairs on my ears, I bet they would.
Yeah.
Nah. Never heard that.
Okay.
Hi, Pavithra. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Awesome.
Good.
Awesome.
So, Joe, how was your week?
My week or my day?
Whatever.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about
Me.
yesterday. Let's talk about yesterday. So on Tuesdays, I play volleyball with sand volleyball with some other people, and we won our first game.
Oh.
And the game behind us was the team that we're trying to get for first place. So they didn't have their star player, a couple of their star players, so they lost.
Sucks to be them.
Yeah, and so we won.
I'd be mad at my star players.
Yeah. So we had another game afterwards.
I'd Facebook shame
and so
them.
basically, we were tied. So now we're tied. So we won our last game. So now we're tied with them. And next week is the ship, and we play against that team. And it was going to be a tiebreaker because they didn't have any losses. We have one loss. They have one loss now. So now it's a straight up battle for first place
Okay.
in the Lubbock Sand Volleyball City
Joe.
League. Yes.
I've got it.
Go ahead.
If we win the ship, we're going to burn the lime scooters because they're back.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to build a fire in the middle of Broadway, and we're going to light
We
it
do
up.
not condone violence. Folks,
We are gonna light it up.
Condone
That's not violence.
I'm
That's
gonna
celebrations.
take
or
bunch
anarchy on
I'm
any
going to
level.
tape a bunch of
Okay.
LED lights to everything and turn them on. That's what I mean by light it up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So calm down, people. Calm down.
All right. Don't at us. Don't at us.
Don't try
put
to
those
call me
angry
out like
faces up there, okay?
Yes.
Leave them off.
Hi,
And then-
Anita.
And then final
Anita.
message here. I've been a plumber all day today. All this week. I had to fix the toilet at my office, and I'm fixing the toilet now, and that's why I haven't been really communicating lately, because I've been doing toilet stuff. So just FYI, if you think I was ignoring the messages, that's why.
Hey,
But
Dan
you
Moran.
were, though. Hey, Dan.
Our very own
But you
scrap
were.
metal.
I was what?
Dan's a walking scrap metal.
Bionic man. Dan the
Pavithra,
man.
Dan was on our show on Monday, and he told us about some platinum that he had in his shoulder right here. He has broken
Titanium.
bones galore. I'm sorry, that's what I said, titanium, on his shoulder right here, or collar, however you want to say this. And we were just, so he was telling
He's
us
the
all
only
stories.
person that we know that has that much metal in his body.
Right, exactly.
He could
Exactly.
be a superhero now. You never
He
know.
should.
That's
Right.
what we said,
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Yes, like, put magnets on him and see if they stick on him and stuff.
Yeah,
Hey,
we tried that.
Chon.
We tried that.
Didn't work.
He's like a walking pocket. Like if you
Right,
put
right.
a wallet, a magnetic wallet, and then he can just be like, you remember how like
You
grandma
can
used to put
charge
him in
your
her
phone
brassiere?
on him.
She, yeah. Oh.
I think so. So, Sandy, how was
Dan.
your day?
Oh, my day was good. I celebrated my 5-year anniversary with Dalmar.
Congratulations!
Came
I
up
saw that
July
today.
the 5th, and so we celebrated today. We went to the tech club, y'all. I had the best little beef fillet, so good. It melted in your mouth.
Did you have to say that was filet mignon?
Yes. Oh my gosh, it was. Yeah, I love it when it melts in your mouth. It's like butter.
Oh yes,
Butter.
Here's the
like when you
bougie
can
one.
cut it with a spoon, right?
Oh, yes.
It's like really good.
I know. That's
Bougie.
fine. I can be.
Girl.
Bougie. We
No,
went to
it's
the
not
Texas
bougie.
Tech Club.
And I
Then we
saw
had
the field.
filet.
I could see
Pavithra,
where I
if
used
I
to
didn't
sit.
mention earlier that these two guys are located down in Lubbock, Texas. So for anyone
Oh,
watching,
wow.
wondering
Lubbock,
some of the places they're
Texas?
talking about, that's where they're from, which is also my hometown, which is how we all met, was there in Lubbock. So just FYI.
Yeah.
Nice.
Recom Tech.
Jamie, how was your day?
No.
Well, let's actually ask Pavithra.
Sorry, Pavithra. See, this is part of the instructions I don't listen to.
Yeah.
Very good.
Sorry about that.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that you're from Texas. I actually am living in Waco. I'm not there now. I'm in Illinois right now.
Are you one of these people?
She's a
I
bear.
am.
You
I'm
are
very
one
good.
of those.
That's it.
So
Let's
you know us. So
stop
we're
the show.
rivals, Pavithra. Thanks for coming on. Have a great day.
Noodles.
Yeah. So I'm in Bloomington right now. Back with family.
Awesome.
But yeah, my day's been pretty good. I just just took out my ice cream because I tried making ice cream for the first time today, and I took it out of the freezer.
Oh,
and
you
it's
got.
not poop. So I think
I
that's
am in
sucks.
love. I'm in love.
Really, ice cream, breakfast, lunch, and dinner is perfectly fine.
That's this guy down here. So,
Oh my goodness.
what flavor did you make by any chance?
So I made Oreo,
Oh, that's it.
Oh,
and
that's
then I also
good.
made Java chip.
Okay.
Oh wow!
Well, that
Joe's
one-
moving to
I don't
Bloomington.
like that. We'll let the Baylor thing slide since you make ice cream.
Awesome. So, pretty good day then so far.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's just gonna get better.
So just send us the ice cream. That's all I ask.
Right. Just ship it.
Just ship it. Let's go.
So my day was pretty non-eventful. I don't have much to talk about. To be
I love that
honest.
you're wearing a Recom Tech shirt.
Do you
in front
like
of our
this?
Baylor person?
Let them
I
know
I did not
what's
do this on person, but I was sitting back and I was thinking, a friend of mine. So when Dakisa and I first got married, that's when Guitar Hero came out, and she and I played Guitar Hero like too much, right?
Mm-hmm.
So our friend who lived in Lubbock, she was a graphic designer, and she worked for the what was the shirt? There's a shirt, Red Raider Outfitter, right?
Yeah.
So she designed like tons of their shirts for a period of time. She created the font, this font she created. She drew this font specifically for Red Raider Outfitter to make these shirts that were based on, if you look at it, it looks
It
like
looks
the
like Guitar Hero. Yeah.
Guitar Hero font.
She made some changes to the font to make sure that it was not infringing on Guitar
That
Hero.
it was safe.
Yeah. And so she had told us, she was like, you were my inspiration for this. And so here's a shirt that you get for that. And I was like, this is so stinking awesome. So I've had this for about 16, 15
Are you not going to shout her
years.
out or anything? You're just going to say my friend.
I don't
He
know if I
forgets her name.
I am
Forget
that
her
old
name.
He forgets her name.
Hi, Christy. Her name's Christy. So, but I do love her. She is extremely talented. So, anyway, all right, guys. Look, I want to just hit y'all off with something. We're doing things a little bit different today, so you can tell. What we're going to do is so that we can help our guests kind of get a little bit loose and do some icebreaker stuff. I thought it'd be fun if we did a couple of 2 cents. So for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, what this is it's time during our show where we bring up a question or a story or something that we want to give our advice in, our 2 cents
Our
to
2
this.
cents. The most
'Cause
important 2 cents ever.
Yeah, the most important, exactly.
The only ones you'll ever need.
That's all
Yes.
you need. Just one.
So
from us.
I got us a few here, and we're not going to do them all, but we'll do a couple of them. And we're not going to do anything numbers, so I'm just going to throw them on the screen. I think this is one that's going to be a hot topic, so we'll start with this one, okay?
Okay.
He just did it. He just is going with it.
I got a call about a job paying me $15 an hour, but I already started my new job paying $12 an hour. Is it okay to quit and take the new job? Sandy, you go first because you had your hand up.
Hey, Chris Beard did it. Do it, man. Do it. If y'all remember, he got hired on at UNLV and then Texas Tech called him and he left. I mean,
Yep.
he
Yep.
had it cush here. I just feel like right now money's important, and some of us, some people did get laid off. So I mean, I could totally understand. I mean, I feel like it's justifiable.
And that wood's not getting cheaper, right?
Trust me, it ain't. No, actually, it did go down. I did.
Oh, that's right. It did
Yeah.
went down a little.
Yeah.
She's building her house, everyone. So just for those of you who are
Right.
curious.
Right.
Oh, I have a story,
right.
Sandy. I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay, cool.
All right, Joe, go ahead.
So yeah, for me, obviously
Wait,
they wanted
but give
that-
your 2 weeks. Sorry. I hadn't finished. And then
Okay, sorry.
See, I don't even know if I give 2 weeks. I would just, because most of the time it doesn't matter. They're just going to be like, hey, I don't want to train you anymore. I don't want to pay you anymore. If you got another job, just GTF out. Like, move on. Just do your thing. And so, yeah, I'd be on that $15 an hour job ASAP. But if you're upfront with people, because usually when I'm hired on, I was like, hey, I'm going to be honest with you. I did apply for another job. They told me that it may be a month or two before they, there's always that possibility. So if you want to hire me, great. But just know that you might lose me here pretty quickly.
Okay. Pavithra, what about you?
I sort of agree with what Joe's saying. Sort of give them a heads up. But I think I'd probably stay at the $12 an hour.
Wow.
Just because, they were the first to reach out to you. I think that
loyalty.
Warrants a little bit of respect and a little bit of loyalty.
Chris Beard didn't think so.
We're a little upset about that. If you can't
A little
tell.
salty.
We're a little salty. We're a little upset about that.
For me, it's kind of a little bit between Joe and what Pavithra said. So I would probably approach the people I'm working for $12 an hour and be like, hey, so to be honest with you, I got an offer for a $15 job that I want to take, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to up the ante a little bit.
I
Oh
see.
no, you
Are you
did.
willing to go 16? Are you willing to go 16 an hour?
Well, in today's marketplace, though, it might be a
Yeah.
job market. It might be a good thing to ask that.
Okay, so let me just tell you real fast. I did tell someone last month who called me asking if I wanted a position. I was like, I'll be honest with you. I said, I think I may be a little out of your price range. I was like, let me go ahead and see it. And I saw it and I was like, yeah. I was like, you're going to need to at least up that by X amount.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just make up a number. Like 25,000. You're going to have to up that by 25,000 for me to even consider leaving my current job. So when you got that, give me a call and let me know.
He was like, I have a new mortgage, so no.
She did call today, though. She said, I remembered and I do have something. And I was like, let's see. So we'll see.
I have a friend who's a business major, and she always says, always negotiate your salary.
Yeah,
because
yes.
they'll try to lowball you. So
They will. All right, let's see. I got another one here. This one won't be.
Hold on, we got a couple of answers.
go ahead.
While you
Go
pull
ahead,
that up.
Sandy.
So
Yep.
Chon said yes, and Dan said it depends on which job is more fun. Also, see if they would match it.
Oh, so
Thank
he's
you
in
for
the fight for that rate.
Yeah.
I'd be like, are y'all Best Buy? Y'all match prices?
So see what happened over here was this dude's offered me $20 down the street. What
Here's
you
my
got?
receipt.
All right. Here's a serious one too. Okay, here we go.
Oh, serious.
If you don't feel euphoric about someone, does that mean you like them? So the question comes from a Reddit where they were saying, I like this person, at least I think I do, but I don't have those butterfly in the stomach feelings for them. Sandy, go ahead.
Define euphoric. Use it in a sentence.
So
Is that
it's
the word they use?
I actually
They use
thought
that
you were
word?
going to ask that, Sandy. So I had the definition pulled up over here already. It says
Ah, baby boy.
characterized by or feeling intense excitement and happiness. Characterized by or feeling intense excitement and happiness. Traditionally, it's the butterflies in the stomach, the tightness in the chest when you're about to see that person, the little glob in your throat because your palms sweaty, all that kind of
Mom
stuff.
spaghetti on your sweater already.
Yeah.
So do you feel like this person was saying, do I really like them if I don't have those feelings, or do you need to have them to like them? What's your guys' 2 cents? Who wants to start?
Pavithra.
shoot.
I feel like you're ready to answer.
I saw her too. Yeah, she's definitely prepared for it.
I was like, don't call on me, don't call on me.
I can feel it.
You know, I think that I don't think euphoria is necessary. I think if you feel comfortable with someone, you don't feel like you're going to puke your guts out. So I think that's a good thing.
That makes sense.
So I think comfort, you know that might have a future with them. Like, I think more the logical side of things. So I feel like if you're feeling those and you're sensing some loyalty again, that would be nice. So I think just because you don't feel euphoric doesn't mean you don't like someone. So
Ditto.
Okay.
That was too easy for Joe.
Right. So I always feel euphoric if the person has tacos. So
Yeah, especially
I-
if they get the carnitas
yes.
and they get
Or
some good hot
Dirk's
stuff.
chicken.
Oh yes, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
all about them.
I can see that. Good answer, Sandy. Good answer.
Thanks. So Chon said,
No. Yeah, so I think the whole euphoric thing. I think that's more like fairy tale type,
that's like when you're
Cinderella
15.
type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
okay.
when you're like hey, I enjoy being around somebody, but I don't know about being euphoric to the point where I'm like throwing up and stomach. I can't even breathe around them. That would
Like,
Wet hands.
I've
Yeah.
never been euphoric around Eric, but I love him.
be right. I
Okay.
can tell you that the producers did not feel euphoric around me at first.
Right.
No.
Still feels the same way.
So,
Non-euphoric.
Yeah,
unless he has a taco in his hand.
unless you're cooking. Talking.
right, exactly. Yeah, a total different thing there.
So I agree. I was thinking about it, and I was like, so I dated my wife when we first dated. I had those euphoric feelings, but then we broke up, and I didn't have those euphoric feelings anymore. Whatever the opposite is what I had. But then when we got back together the second time, I didn't have those euphoric feelings, but I knew I liked her a lot more. And even when I asked her to be my wife, I still didn't have those euphoric feelings. But then, like when we got closer to the wedding day, I did get them back.
That's called cold feet.
That's called you knew the bill was coming.
That's
Okay.
what that feels.
Last one. All right, you ready for this one?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
This
Yes.
one's not going to be deep, but
Okay.
2 cents. Is it okay to ask for a raise after 1 month? Let y'all think about it for a minute. You ready, Sandy? Go ahead.
No. So rude. Like if your job they hired you at this pay rate, why after a month do you think you're good enough to ask for a raise? You probably called in that first month. No, you don't deserve it. You're probably late in that first month. Don't be asking me for a raise. I think 90 days. That's a probationary period.
Right.
Oh, so you're saying after 90 days it might be okay to
After
ask for a
90
raise?
days, it might be okay. If
okay.
if you've put in like more than 2%, Joe.
Oh.
Yeah, so-
attack.
right. Well, Joe's not going to ask till about a year.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'll say, traditionally, I would say no. But in this market, I would say yes. Only in this market. Because I do believe if someone was poaching me, for example, I would go to my employer and ask for a raise. And if they
After
say
a
no,
month?
yeah.
Ain't nobody
In
poaching
this
you.
current market. But let me put the caveats behind that. I am in the IT field, and I don't know about all the other fields, but definitely in the IT field, we're a pretty hot commodity right now. So I could, and I would be willing to advise others who are in the same market to go to their boss and just say, can I have a raise? And then if not, be like, I do have this other position that came up and is offering me double what you're offering me, which that is happening right now.
Usually the ones that
Double?
are asking for
It's
raises.
insane.
But it's not been a month though. How long you been with them?
Oh, you're getting
we're
double?
not talking about I shouldn't be talking about me, guys. I'm saying this is this one literally came from a Reddit post. Hush, this came from a Reddit post, so that's where I pulled this question from. Okay,
So, dude, if he's getting paid double, why even ask? I wouldn't
Because
even
he's-
ask. Peace out.
okay, so that's your
12
response,
to
Joe.
15 was a thing, but double's like a whole different thing.
Yeah,
Look,
exactly.
Pavithra said, what loyalty?
That's what I heard too.
That's what we heard, Pavithra.
You know?
All right, so
Like after a month, you haven't even learned anything after.
No.
a month. You have nothing. You know nothing about the culture. You know nothing about the company. You're just the bottom of the totem pole. So I'm like, you better get out that door.
I'm going to allow you to keep your job after asking me that. That's what
I'm gonna let you walk back to your desk.
I'm just going to pretend this never happened.
Right? Yeah. I'm gonna erase this from the tape like it never happened because I can't believe that.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I didn't hear you right. Could you tell me my other ear just in case?
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
gosh. Okay. All right, everyone.
Oh,
so that.
John says,
Whoa,
peace.
What did he say?
He's like, peace out.
Nope.
Ask
Nope.
for a raise. Get to.
Oh gosh, that was so good.
Anita
going,
said
Joe.
no,
Keep going.
would not ask for a raise after 1 month. Thank you, Anita. I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, what Sandy said.
Right.
2%, everyone. Just remember.
2%. Let me tell you how, Pavithra, if you can tell, I'm the overachiever in the group.
Oh yes, yes.
Like 2%.
All right. All right. So, excuse me. All right. So, normally this is where Joe would ask me who we have coming on the show today.
Hey, Jamie, he's on the show right now. I like that.
So, everyone, I would like, you already see her name in there, but let me tell you a little bit about her. I met Pavithra very recently and heard what she was doing as far as her education. And I thought, oh my gosh, I need to have someone like her on our show because pre-med is kind of a big deal. And I don't think that that's a decision that's made lightly.
And hold on, let me interrupt you. I'm so sorry. And I feel like he thinks that we need to have the same intellectual level on our show. So Pavithra, we're equals here.
Yeah, we're all equals here. You just raised the bar of the show.
Don't be embarrassed around.
Yes. If we start throwing out those 5-syllable words, just
roll with it. Sorry.
Okay, so that's okay. That's okay. I started getting, into doing other things while people are talking. I'm like, oh, I can do this. Anyway, all right. So Pavithra is in her senior year at pre-med as a pre-med student at Baylor University. Okay, she is majoring in cell and molecular biology and neuroscience, with a minor in chemistry.
Oh my goodness.
After graduation, she'd love to attend medical school and become a neurologist and get involved with global medicine. She said, when I asked her, to tell me a little bit about herself and things like that, she was telling me about some of the hobbies that she likes to do. And so what she likes to do, cooking and baking,
nice,
painting, or hiking. She also loves spending time with high school students and sharing her experience as a pre-med student. So she started picking up a new hobby also, which we'll all get to all those things later on.
Skateboarding? She's a skateboarder.
Right.
My athletic ability is so low. Sandy, I was watching some of the old episodes and I figured out you're a runner and I was like, oh no.
No. I dabble in running.
Oh, okay.
I just dabble.
So without further ado, everyone, please welcome Pavithra Kannan to the Social and Distancing Show.
Welcome, Pavithra. And thank you for watching our past shows. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
I just wanted to know what I was getting myself into. You guys are
Right.
great. So.
So sorry that you watched those past shows.
Right. I'm so excited.
I was pleased, actually. I was like, oh, thank you for doing that.
Wow.
And then you feel so good.
All of this science stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All science stuff is what I'm hearing.
Yep.
I'm not even going to try to repeat it because it's too many syllables, but still. What got you interested? Did it start from a young age? Or did somebody push you into it? So I'll be honest with you. You seem like a fellow Asian. So it seems like Asian parents kind of like pushed you in that direction. So, but I want to hear it from you.
All right. Okay. So first of all, I was never going to go into medicine. Like I remember my goals starting from like first grade was like princess, astronaut, and then I went into architecture, and I'll tell you why. And then I went into IT architecture.
Oh, wow.
And then I ended up, right before college applications, I ended up at pre-med. And funny thing, my parents didn't want me to do medicine. Nope, just go work an 8-to-5 job, like just chill, enjoy life, don't get too stressed out. And like,
wow.
This is and I was like, wow, you guys like really flipped the table on me. I don't know what to do.
Don't let your parents meet
where
Joe
are my
then,
real
okay?
parents?
And so, so for me, I started getting into architecture. That was like the first real thing. I was like, okay, princess is not attainable, so we're gonna go architecture.
Yes, it is, Pavithra. Huh? I said, yes, it is.
I know. Just someone find me a prince.
Yes.
So I think this starts off really self-centered, but I promise it gets better. So from a young age, I always was super into the idea of legacy, because I realized that we can't really trace my family's history back because my parents grew up in India, and up until like the 1980s or anything, like birth records weren't mandated. So as far back as my family, I tried to trace my family back, and as far back as I could get was like my great grandparents. But even then, we only know like half their name.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
And so, and from the region where I'm from in India, they take the father's first name, and that becomes the last name of the kids and the wife. And so
Oh.
you don't really get that preservation of like a lineage. And so
Okay.
I was like, all right, I got to do something. We need to leave behind legacy for Pavithra. And so that's why I got into architecture. And I was like, you know what? I mean, I love design. I like being creative. I don't like the idea of an 8 to 5 job. And so I figured that's a way to be creative, but also meet new people and do all those things. And so I was like, okay, we'll go into architecture. And the best thing is I can leave behind a legacy on a skyline.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's awesome.
Years from now, someone can look at it and be like, okay, Pavithra built that. That's a really great addition. But something about it kept irking me, and I was like, it's fine. Like, I'll get over it.
It's the math.
It wasn't a euphoric feeling.
It gave me butterflies, but not the right ones. And so I was like, this is a little too much physics for me. And then I went into IT architecture. I was like, you know, this seems a little bit more up my alley. I love to do robotic design. I did first Lego League. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
Oh, my goodness. She
I haven't.
does Legos, too. That
Yep.
is just awesome.
I've
So you
stepped
build
on
little
Legos.
Oh, same.
Same here.
Love Legos. So you build like little robots, you program them to do little missions. And I coached a few teams for a while, and I was like, you know what? I think I like the whole programming thing. You're still building, you're still being creative, you're still being innovative. And then I was like, I can leave my legacy behind in a line of code. And so I was like ready, guns blazing. I was down to go that path up until the December before I sent out my applications. My dad and I just took a random trip to India to go visit family. And that was like the first trip I'd made in approximately like 7 or 8 years. So I was 17 at the time. And the last trip I'd made was when I was like 11. And that trip was what was really eye-opening for me, because I guess I was just too young to realize what I was seeing in the past.
Right.
But going there and seeing there's some great things, but then there's also some things that are lacking. And one of those things that I saw was just the access to healthcare was not a thing.
Yeah.
And that's really, really what sparked me on my global health journey. And then I came back and I was like, Mom, guess what? I'm going to do pre-med. And she's like, no.
She's like, no, I
We're
want
gonna
Legos
disown
running
you.
around.
And so, yeah, that's sort of what really like sparked me. Just getting to witness that, because I don't think that's something I saw growing up in Bloomington, Illinois.
Right.
And so being able to see that and being able to be like, okay, this combines innovation, this combines science, which I loved. I get to meet new people. It is not an 8 to 5 job. And the best part is I get to leave behind the legacy of life, because, I mean, sure, my name's not written on a plaque somewhere, but you get to leave behind. I mean, you save one person, you save their whole family, their generations to come. And that I was like, you know what? It doesn't have to be a very physical legacy, but as long as it's there somewhere, and I left the world a little bit better than where I found it. So,
Wow.
You know,
Wow, you're
right about that.
amazing. What do you do,
that's-
Joe?
I like ice cream.
I mean, same.
I yell at my
But-
kids.
Right. He yells at
That's
his
his
little
legacy.
legacies.
Yeah,
That's his legacy.
so I meant to work on mine. Golly.
Right. We're working on it.
You know, Pavithra, when you say that, it's interesting because it's not that. So I can remember one of the nurses that helped us out when we were conceiving our first child, and our first baby didn't live, but I remember that nurse, and to this day, in our family, I celebrate her and I talk about her, and I always bring her up because she did such a great job at helping my wife and I through the pregnancy and even towards the end. And so she, you know, like when you talk about legacy and things like that, I think about her and I'm like, I see her on Facebook now, but before Facebook, I would still just have her name remembered in my family for as long as I live. Mm-hmm. So I like when you say that, because it is purposeful.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I think just that's the example that I want to live up to. I mean, the nurses and doctors, you know, it's been a huge inspiration. So yeah.
So how long did it take you, time-wise, to go through that whole beginning process before you landed on and being like, this is where I want to be now?
I think it only took me. We were in India for 3 weeks, and I think by the second week, I was like, "All right, this is it." And I remember hearing an old quote, and it was, "If it comes from God, it comes with courage and peace, and if it doesn't, it comes with questions and confusion and hesitation." And I kept thinking about that, and for some reason, it just felt like it clicked, and I was like, you know what? I think this is what I'm being called to do, and so set a foot in, and I haven't looked back. So,
Wow.
So then it took you 2 weeks to go from everything before that
to go
like,
from Legos.
Some Legos.
Yep.
Making code for Legos. To I'm gonna make sure everyone has accessible healthcare.
That's it. I can't explain it, but that's what happened.
See, I haven't had
I'm
that
just
epiphany yet.
floored.
I'm working
Yeah.
on it, and maybe something will hit me one of these days. But
When we grow up, we want to be just like you.
Yes.
Right.
I think what
so
she said.
he said you're about to graduate. So obviously you're taking classes online now,
Hmm.
and then you're going to have to do your residency somewhere.
Oh, I still got to go to med school.
Oh, you still
I'm
have to
still
actually
in
go
She's
to
in
med
pre-med
school.
right now. She's in pre-med.
pre-med.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she's in it for the long haul.
Oh, yeah.
So the whole process, it takes about 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywhere
So-
from 10 to 12 years. You do 4 years of undergrad, and then you do 4 years of med school. And then depending on what your residency is, it's 3 to 7-ish years. So you're in it for a while.
And you're minoring in chemistry.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And what's the minor for chemistry? What's the purpose of that? For
I
us,
don't really like
intellectual.
chemistry.
Oh, okay.
I don't really like it. But then I was like, you know what? You gotta find your weak link and fix it. So
Oh,
Very
you
interesting.
challenge yourself.
What is
try.
that?
you can ask anyone.
We
I
are-
open a chemistry textbook and I start sweating bullets.
So
you
you don't feel euphoric about it
in a
at
way
all.
I can't even explain.
Right.
So there's no euphoria there, is what you're telling what I'm hearing.
Absolutely not.
So how do you come to realizing that, kind of in the opposite sense, how do you come to realizing that you're going to major in cell and molecular biology and neuroscience? So cell and molecular biology are one thing, and then neuroscience is a second thing, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So how did you come
I
to?
went in just bio major because that's, I guess, the traditional route. I didn't know any better, so I was like, all right, I guess we'll take this.
I just want to be a doctor. Okay.
Right.
Someone just give me a white coat.
Not like the
Good.
Dr. Dre type of guy, okay?
Right.
Or the Dr. Phil kind of guy, okay?
Yeah, I was so ready.
Dang
And
it.
then I was like, shoot, what did I get myself into?
Right.
But
Has
I
it
started off-
hit you kind of?
Yeah,
Have you had
yeah.
that moment where you're like, oh my gosh, what am I doing?
Yeah, I went into orientation week, and I'm the first one to attend a United States university. Both my parents did their schooling in India, and so I was like, orientation week, this is a little sketch. They asked me to make my own schedule. I was like, what happened to the 8 to 5? So I was thrown off, but I started off with bio, and then I realized I really, really like the brain. It's fascinating to me.
It is.
It's
Yeah, I agree.
incredible. And so I decided to add on neuroscience because I still liked bio, but just
I have to
wanted
ask,
do
So
What
she's
are-
going to be the next McDreamy. That's what she's going to be.
He dies.
I don't know
He
what you're
dies. I don't
talking
wanna
about.
die.
Oh my gosh, Joe.
I haven't. Spoilers, Pavithra. Come on.
I'm sorry.
I don't even know what you're calling her McDreamy
I don't
for.
know why you're. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
So,
You don't need to explain it though. I really don't care.
Everyone knows
What
that
I
it's
do
Grey's
care about
Anatomy,
though.
and it's the neuros.
Did
Not
you ask
everyone
Cindy?
knows.
Because I didn't. I
don't
thought
know
I
what
said
you're
it pretty
talking
clear that.
It's
I
okay.
didn't care.
Pavithra knew exactly what I was
Grey's
talking
Anatomy.
about. So.
Did you know what he was talking about, Pavithra?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
so
'cause she's-
smart. Jeez, you're a genius.
How do you,
No, it's
us,
Grey's Anatomy.
with us brain levels way up here, you two are like down here. Pavithra and I are way up.
So, what about what you saw in India made you think the brain? Like, what did you see there that made you hone in on those particular subjects?
The brain actually wasn't triggered by India. That was
Okay.
like a me thing. I really just liked psychology.
Okay. Oh, me too.
And so I was like, yeah.
A different.
so
Did you watch our Monday's
psychology.
episode by any chance?
Right,
Did you
different.
hear?
but
I had
you just
a little
the same.
snippet at the beginning of the show where I was like, I thought I met a sociopath. I didn't though. I was a little disappointed, but just a little.
Right. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, so I
Awkward
see
silence.
neuroscience as just a me thing.
Okay.
But India was more of the global health.
Okay.
I mean, you like walk down the streets and you just sort of see like people without homes, and it's just, you know, you get a real flash of reality and how
Right.
much like privilege that we live in. So
Right. Yeah.
I agree with you. Not knowing the details, I can definitely say I do feel like there is that level of privilege that we have here and that we don't get, is not existent in other parts of the world.
So it's.
Go
ahead.
ahead,
Sorry.
Joe.
No, no.
So it's really inspiring and touching when I hear that, because I would like, I'm curious what the potential is there for all of us, right? Like I have 2 daughters, for example. I have 2 Afro-Latinas that I would love to know how the rest of the world would impact them towards their potential. My hope is that they'll be contributing, you know, successfully contributing members of society. But when I think about how you're telling your story right now and seeing how you went from kind of that same line to now how legacy really impacted you to want to do something more for generations past and larger than what is in your circle and your maybe even your comfort, it's so powerful.
thank you.
I'm sorry, Joe, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
So mine was not as profound as what you just said.
Right. He's
I
gonna
have
some
do
Grey's
that
Anatomy quote, I'm sure.
I don't, no, see, I can't even bring it up now because it's not even that cool. So,
Right.
so is your workload right now, Pavithra? Is it pretty heavy right now? Like, are you pretty much studying 24/7 to try to make it through this? Just
No, I think that is sort of a misconception. We don't always have our noses in a book, which I am thankful for.
Now,
I
don't
think I
lie.
would
She's probably
genuinely
like, "Oh, I got it."
Oh
Got it?
no,
Yeah.
that isn't it. I definitely spend like a lot of my time studying, but I've found that colleges now are especially like they're working towards creating more of like a balanced life where you're not just nose in book all the
nose in
time. You're
books all the
also
time.
like having a life. Like this is
Texas
like,
Tech has been like that all the time I've known it. So
It is known as a party school.
we're the party school of Texas. So I don't know.
Right.
We've had that part down.
So I feel like we usually try to ask this type of question towards the end, but I'm feeling compelled to ask it now, Pavithra.
Oh,
So
yeah, just you changed up the whole format of the show, so might as well.
But in a good way,
Throw it all in.
not bad. Look, so I have a niece that's going to be coming up here and entering college here in Illinois. I don't know that you'll get to meet her before you leave and whatnot, but she's going to be moving up here, and she's going to be attending Heartland for the first couple of years and then move to ISU hopefully afterwards. Joe has a daughter who's going to be moving up north and going to college too in her first year, and she has big dreams. She makes me proud too. Both of these kids make me proud.
What does she want to do, Joe?
Oh, she's doing political science and
Wow.
Yeah, totally cool.
Dang, that's
Yeah.
insane.
she's my introvert, and she's going to New York City.
Wow.
And so, yeah, in fact, tomorrow is what do they call it? The first where they show you everything.
Orientation.
Yeah. So she's doing online orientation tomorrow, and she said it's all day long, Dad. It's from 11 to 8. I'm like, oh, so sorry that.
Have to
Is she
show
already
up.
up there?
No. They're doing online orientation.
Oh, online. I missed that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but
Okay.
so she's gonna have to sit in her. What? It doesn't change anything that she's been doing. So.
Is she still going to get to go to school in the fall?
Oh yeah,
Percent?
yeah. So
Okay.
we will actually be moving her in at the end of August. So we
Okay.
will fly up there and drop her off, boot her out, and then we'll come back and cry.
Right, and party.
But when his daughter told me what she was doing, I was on the phone with her and I was crying and I was like pumping her up. I was like, I'm so excited. I'm so happy. Oh my gosh. Having it because his wife is Mexican. And so I was like, Latina going into political science. over the moon to me. So I'm so hyped up for her. But
Yeah.
going back,
She's
having-
Mexipino.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like,
I wasn't gonna. I was gonna ask you how to say the other part.
Mexipino. Actually, it's Mexican because the Filipinos first. She looks more Filipino than like.
But so you going into your senior year as a pre-med student, do you feel like there's something special that you would tell our kids, specifically with our two, not my kids, but my niece, but the kids right now? Is there a message that you would say to them? You know, like I said, do you have any advice that you could give to these kids going in their first year of college?
Oh, I don't know if I'm warranted to give advice, but I think it's different than high school. I definitely wasn't expecting that. But going in, I think the first year you should really set yourself up for success. Join the clubs that you need to, do what you need to, get those internships, do all you need to do in those first couple of years, set yourself up for success, but also don't let that come at a detriment to you just enjoying like your freshman year, your sophomore year, because you are like still really young. And I think sometimes I got caught up in the idea that this is it, like I have to figure out my life right now.
Right.
And that's really stressful as like an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I haven't figured it out either. And I'm 25,
Yeah.
so
right. Jamie had to leave on that note.
I think you had to leave out my. I don't understand that. So,
Yeah, I
are you
think-
going? Are you going to med school in Baylor, or are you going to a different med school?
I haven't even applied.
You haven't even applied.
So I'm going to be taking a gap year because I want to do a master's in between. I want to
Oh,
focus
my
more on the global health side of it. So I want to do a master's in either public health or business administration, something like that. Something to set me up for the big world, the administrative side.
Yeah. So this is all of the talent that you have been
Right.
sprinkled with.
All the knowledge.
All the knowledge.
And then we here
and
have
we're over
this show
here.
right
It's just
now.
I'm sorry, Joe, I missed you. There you go.
You were absent on that day. I think you just left me in.
It was more like this. It was more like this. Let's just put a little here and be like,
Right? It's like, oh, yeah.
Somebody's
I guess-
leftovers.
I guess.
I appreciate that, Pavithra. I appreciate that.
You know,
All right,
I
so
wish
let's-
somebody would have told me that my first year.
I wish someone would have told me that.
I'm going to make sure to share that. I'm gonna actually make a
Right.
little
You
snippet
know what's
of this
crazy?
part of the video and put it with our kids.
My daughter that's going to New York, she will turn 18 on August 25th. We're moving her in August 28th. So,
Oh, wow.
so
Good night.
she's going to be that. I'm like, that's your birthday present.
Yeah,
Don't
right
ask for
here.
anything. Don't ask for anything.
Don't ask for anything else ever again.
Yeah. In
Okay.
fact, now after this, you'll be giving back to us.
Right.
We'll give you about
exactly.
like 5 to 10 years right there. But
Yeah,
after
so,
that,
geez.
good nursing home. Good nursing home.
Good nursing home. Yeah.
Pavithra, let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk a little bit about your hobbies that you like. Because there's one that we mentioned that I am really digging because everyone here loves to cook. I love to bake.
The Lego building? Is that what?
The caveat is that Sandy likes, as long as it's under 4 ingredients, Sandy loves to cook. She doesn't mind it.
It's
I'm sorry.
3 ingredients.
Isn't that under
Okay.
4?
Oh my goodness. Did he
4
just do
just
that?
adds an ingredient to it. I just 3.
As long as it's 3 ingredients and below, she's good to cook. Okay?
Yes.
If it's 3 ingredients, if it's 4 ingredients or above,
I'm
it has
out.
to go to someone else in her home. Okay.
My assistant.
Yeah.
So
Also,
let's-
to our viewers, if you guys have any questions for Pavithra, please put them in the comments. Come on now. Let's
Yeah.
get them.
Don't be shy.
Yeah, let's throw some curveballs at her. She's smart. We should handle it.
Right. It's like,
So
how
tell us-
smart is she?
why do some of your hobbies include? Why is baking and cooking one of your hobbies? Where did that come from?
Because I love to eat.
Oh, amen, girl.
You're on the right show. You're in the
Oh
right
my
place.
God.
I love trying
Yes.
new food. I love trying new recipes. I'm all about that life. And so at some point, I don't know when, but I started realizing that maybe going out all the time isn't the best for my body.
Oh.
The biology classes really came in there. They're
Oh,
"You can't be eating
blame it on
Cheetos all the
biology.
time."
Freaking
Yeah.
bio.
And so that's when I started making things at home. And then I was like, wait, it actually tastes better if you do it at home. So that's where it started. And now I just do it because I've developed an addiction. So,
Do you have a favorite dish that you like to make and cook and bake at home?
this is really
Like-
bland, but I love dinner rolls.
Oh, I love dinner rolls.
I love dinner rolls.
Yeah.
It's like the fourth utensil. You just scoop everything up with it. So.
Oh, I
To
know.
sop it up. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then clean off the plate. Heck yeah.
I remember when my wife and I first started dating and got married, we used to go to Logan's a lot. And that was because she would say, well, you like the steak there, and I like the rolls there. So
Texas
Wow.
Roadhouse, though, that's a whole new
Yeah.
ball game with those rolls. Oh, so good.
really, I think it's the butter at the Texas Roadhouse that makes the rolls better. Butter. The butter
Oh,
makes
is it the
rolls
cinnamon something?
The
better?
cinnamon, but
Yeah.
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 So, when
what
you're
other-
studying, though, Pavithra, what's your favorite study food?
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's a good one. Or
Um,
snack or sweet.
Ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream.
Oh, okay, good one.
That's like my, honestly, now that you mention it, that's like my study thing. Because when I get stressed, I eat ice cream, and those
Yeah.
chemistry books are not very fun. So
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So we're actually heading to Dairy Queen right after this. My son and I are going to Dairy Queen. It's like, Dad, can we get some ice cream? Okay.
That question?
Didn't take much to twist that arm, did it?
Right.
Exactly.
All right, let's see. You also have some other things that you like doing, like painting, for example.
Painting?
Who's your,
Yeah.
like, who do you paint at? Like, who inspired you to paint?
I'll be right back.
Bob
Stress.
Ross? Oh,
There you
stress.
go.
Stress.
I don't know. I've always loved going to art museums. That's like, you could leave me in the Chicago Art Institute and I could be there happy as ever for like an entire day, probably more.
Oh, wow.
And so I liked looking at it. I wasn't super great at it. So then, I don't know, I just started doodling. And now it's more like I paint what comes to mind. It's not great, but it's a good stress relief. So
So are you watercolor, acrylics?
acrylics.
Okay.
I'm trying to get into watercolor, but it's a little bit more challenging.
Yeah. And
Have you gone to
watercolor is
painting with a twist?
Oh, what did you say?
Have you gone with to painting with the twist?
No, I don't know what that is.
So
I think we call it
here-
up here wine, something painting and wine. It's over in downtown Bloomington next to Reality Bites.
I don't know.
No?
I've never been. Where are these places coming from?
So here in Lubbock, so basically what you do is you pick out whatever the painting is for that night, and then the instructor stands up there, and it's BYOW. You bring your own wine or drink or whatever, and so you just paint whatever it is that they're painting, and they'll come help you. But I love painting with it. I have no talented bone in my body. I can't even do a stick figure, but I have 2 painting with the twist paintings in my house. Well, I don't have a house right now, but I have.
Definitely check that out. Yeah, I'd love to do
Yeah,
that.
it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Merlot and a masterpiece. That's what it's called up here, Pavithra.
Mm,
Oh,
okay, okay.
cool.
Yeah, you should definitely. They're fun to do, and then they play little games and stuff like that. And then whenever I went, of course my wife, she's like, I'm not very good at this, so I had to paint hers too. So I was painting on both of them. And I was like, wait, I'm not supposed to do double the work, but but
That's
yeah,
so
it's a
funny.
fun
I
way.
could totally see her doing it. I could totally be like, mine doesn't look like yours. You do it, Joe. And then she
Yeah,
takes
and
total
she's like,
credit
how
for
did
it.
you blend it like that? So I have an art background, so and I'm Asian, so things come a little easier with me. So she's just like, how did you do that? So it's a fun time. I definitely recommend it. So
Yeah, I would totally recommend it if you like painting.
Yeah, definitely. I'll check it out.
so baking and painting. What
else
other?
do we got here?
What else did she say?
Hiking. She said she likes
Hiking.
hiking. Are you
Um,
going up to Starved Rock to do that over here or other places?
Yeah, we actually went a couple weeks ago, right before the rain, so I lucked out. And then Cameron Park in Waco. That's pretty nice. My friends and I usually go there.
That is nice. Mhm.
It is really nice. And when I say hiking, I mean like a real slow walk. That's where I'm at.
I like that.
That's what it means for us too.
Right.
Okay. I was like, I don't know. Sandy's like sprinting up
Right.
there. So.
I think that
No.
makes you feel like you got to elevate it.
So when we were down in Austin, we were trying to find a hiking spot, and I was like, it has to be less than a mile. I'm not.
There's rules.
Things like that.
Since you're in Waco, do you go to Nuke's by chance?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so if you love food, go to Nuke's. They have the best strawberry cake
Oh my gosh.
in the
Pavithra.
world. It's so good.
Okay.
I mean,
You
I
said it's
can't
called
even tell
Nuke's?
you. Yes.
Okay.
Pavithra,
Yes.
You're gonna have to ship some up here because that thing that she's showing pictures of it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, this is like the greatest.
I mean,
about to
so I'm
explode.
gluten-free and dairy-free now, so I can't have it. But I want you to know when I could indulge, oh my gosh, it's
Okay,
so amazing.
You
I want you
just-
to have it and let me know.
And
what
send
you
Okay.
Sandy's piece my way. And
think. Right?
Okay, I'll just ship it out to everybody.
Yeah. You get cake. You get cake.
Just send it to us. It's
You know,
fine.
if you go there, do a little video with you and them, and then we'll put it up on the show and be like, "Here's Pavithra's report on Nick's strawberry
All right,
Right,
here's your
cheesecake."
field
Okay.
report.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
You
My
can
cake
anytime that you
legacy.
bake something, you can send it our way. Just feel free to
You
send
can
it our
call
way.
me. I will gladly taste test. Okay.
So,
All right.
Pavithra, do you have any like brothers or siblings, or are you an only child, or what's your family like?
I have a younger sister.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
And does she look at you and like, I'm not doing anything that she does?
Right.
she's
No,
at first I was
she's a
like her
mathematician.
favorite. At first I was like her favorite person, and now she's in the teenage years. So
Oh,
God.
she's a little like, oh no, I don't want to do anything with that, but
Right.
it's really fun to hang out with her. I love
Okay.
her.
So is
I
she
can't
like
handle the
a
teenagers.
senior in high school, junior in high school?
she's gonna be a sophomore in high school now.
Okay, so she's
Oh.
full on
Sophomore. Which
TikTok.
one's sophomore? What age is that?
She's Kate's age. She's 15.
Yeah.
So she's in the full on TikTok world then, isn't she?
She hasn't gotten into TikTok, which I
Don't
think we're
let
all
her.
thankful for.
Yes.
So
My daughter,
Under
she's
that one as
13,
long
my
as we-
oldest, Pavithra, and I'm like, stay off of that. She was trying to say something earlier about TikTok, and we're like, well, none of us
Oh,
have
she's
TikTok.
like, she knows all the
What are you
dances.
yeah.
talking about? She
The
does.
I'm trying to do the whoa.
Yes. Do that again. I didn't quite see it. My eye was kind of.
There you go.
You're making his eye twitch with that.
So you have a younger sister, mom and dad, and so that's cool. That's cool.
Mom and dad are here too, right?
Yep. They've
Okay.
been in Bloomington as far as I've remembered.
They don't work for the big dog in town, do they?
Oh, they do. You know they do.
Of course I know. Guys, just in case y'all didn't know, 1 in every 3 people in this town works for the big dog.
At
You
Farm
know
Stand.
who I'm talking about. Yeah.
At Farm State, yep.
So just FYI.
Nah? Oh, the big dogs, huh?
Yeah.
That's
All right.
really cool.
Pavithra, can I
Pavithra-
ask you one more question?
Yes, of course.
So when you were talking about your family and just knowing how far back your family goes, have you guys done well, I guess I don't know, is like the ancestry or 23andMe, is that like a thing in India or not yet, or
We haven't done it. I think it is a thing in India. I don't know how much I trust in the science. I haven't looked into it, so I guess I can't speak on it. So I haven't looked into that yet, but we did do something in one of my biology classes where we took one of my DNA samples and we went back to, there's like a mitochondrial gene that's like super preserved. And the funniest thing was most people got it down to the continent or region. And mine actually took me right to the city that I was born in. And so we think that I was born in a city called Madurai in Tamil Nadu, India. And so we think at least some of our family's from there because that's a highly preserved gene. So
Wow.
oh, that is so
That
cool that you
sounds
can
so
just do you're
cool.
like, I don't need no aunt, I can do it myself.
Mom, spit in this. Spit in this, Mom.
Right. That's your mitochondria up in here.
She threw that 5-syllable word out there like that. We're like,
That's all.
You know, that does spark a different question too that I want to ask. Thanks, Sandy. Pavithra, what was one of the I can't think of the adjective I don't feel here, but what is one of the things that visiting India, what's one place or one thing or maybe a couple things that you want to say about it that was really something you're like, I wish everyone could experience this. I wish you guys could experience this. Tell us about maybe an event that happened or something you experienced, however small or big, whether it be religious, social, cultural, food, whatever. Was there something
Yeah.
that was just so memorable?
First of all, I can't talk about this without talking about the street food. That is top notch. And so that's sometimes I get sick, but I think it's worth it.
Right,
that's
totally
a risk
worth
I'm
it.
willing to take. So there's definitely street food, but I think one of the most memorable things that I have is this was actually just about the summer before COVID. That's when the last time I went was. And we went to this relative. They were somewhat distant, but we just wanted to go say hi. And it was not a big house. It was a rather small house, probably about the size of like an apartment, like a decent sized apartment. That's about it. And they had the grandparents. They had 4 of the siblings, their wives, and their kids, all just gathered together for, like, they have dinner every day together.
Oh,
and
wow.
they all like live within like 2 houses of each other, so they're like all concentrated in one place, but they all come together and they like, everybody makes the dish, everybody comes over, and every night dinner they all have it together. And I was just sitting there and I was like, you know, as far as I can remember, it was always me, my mom, my dad, and my sister here, and that was family dinner. And so seeing that, I was like, wow, this is the type of culture I guess I've missed out on, but
I
I'm
love
glad I
that.
got to be there.
Yeah, that never happens here. That's only Thanksgiving, Easter, Christmas. That's it.
Yeah.
And they were just all joking around. They were having such a good conversation, and like that sort of family, the unity, that made me so happy just to be there. And now I love visiting them because it's just that preservation of family and love. That was beautiful.
So
Oh, that's so awesome.
If that's what every night was like, dinner was like every night, what is it like when it's Diwali or?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been there for Diwali and
that might be a next
long.
experience to look for, right? Is
yeah.
To be like, yeah. So I love whenever so Bloomington Normal up here, guys, has a heavy Indian footprint, however we want to say that, and so there's a lot of holidays when they happen that we get to experience up here and get to see local cultures have, and it's festive. It's really festive.
Well, if it's anything like the weddings go on for like a week or so, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I've been a part of when someone who's had a Diwali celebration. No. It was a birthday. It was a child's birthday because I remember the girls got invited. My daughters, they were younger. But I remember when we got there, we thought we might be just a little early, and we were. But good Lord, by the time we left, I mean, everybody from I don't know where was in that joint, and it was bumping, and it was like, I mean, I was enjoying myself, and it was a grand time, and it was just
you're
like,
like, this reminds me of the Mexican barbecues back home.
Yeah, I'm like the 1-year-old party.
You know that 1-year-old party for the 1-year-olds.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
No.
But it was like that. So imagine the barbecues at the parks in Lubbock, but being stuffed into a house, and somehow it works.
Yeah.
It totally. And
It's a vibe in there.
yeah. And there's food galore. No one's gonna go hungry. No one's gonna go hungry. There's
if you're hungry, it's your own fault.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So,
and if you're
anyway.
vegetarian, it's easy too. You're there.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, because they focus on a lot of vegetables. I would die because I hate vegetables.
And they got you covered with the meat too.
Yeah, but a lot of the cuisine that I had, or I've always normally seen, is lamb. So that's a meat that I've seen predominantly a lot. But there are those little, Pavithra, help me. I'm not sure what these are called. I think is it samosas?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
What is it? Tell me.
Can you describe it? Because I think I'm going to say it wrong.
It's like deep fried, seasoned potatoes. It's like a deep fried thing that's like has potato filling and it's seasoned and it's
you had me at potatoes and deep
Yeah.
fried.
Oh, and then
so
the
good to
chutney
eat,
that
but
they put
so
with
bad
it.
for your arteries.
It really
I can tell you that.
is. It really is. Joe, you'd love it.
Okay.
And then there's
I'm
this
done with that.
spicy chutney, this green chutney that they put with it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Anyway, I'm going to stop because it's been a while since I've had one of those things. They're so good. I'm not even kidding you. Anyway, if you ever go to an Indian place, ask for a samosa and just give it a try at least.
Not a mimosa, Sandy.
Or both.
Yeah.
Ask for both.
Yeah,
if they
Man.
All right, Pavithra. We loved talking with you. We do
Yes,
something at the end of our
Pavithra.
show before we let our guests go. we give them the opportunity to kind of address the crowd and say whatever it is you want to say. This could be, like I mentioned before, it could be maybe your mom's favorite chocolate chip recipe. It could be your message for hope
recipe. Yes.
to
A
everyone.
samosa recipe.
It could be
I don't have
anything
one
you
of
want
those.
to. What we're going to do is we're just going to give you the screen here to address everyone, okay?
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I don't know. I think my only thing that I have to say is just sort of keep going for what you're called to do. I think what everybody's doing here with the show, that's part of their legacy. And so it's not just being a doctor. It's how are you contributing to the future? How are you contributing to the world? How are you being a better light in the world? And so obviously no one's perfect, but I think you each got to do your own part. And if everybody does it, then we're going to be on our merry way. So find out what you're interested in, focus on that, and just work hard. That's it. And have fun and bake and eat. So
Awesome.
And skateboard and eat ice cream.
Yep.
let's not
Right.
skateboard and eat ice cream.
And Pavithra, I love your teeth. I have a thing with teeth, and you have beautiful teeth.
we spent a lot on those braces.
All right. Sorry, I've got to find.
That
something
means that
because we're
she
getting close.
actually used her retainers, unlike my children.
Oh, hey, as much as I'm paying for this grill, we're going to be putting in retainers and all sorts
All right,
of
excellent.
things.
So, Pavithra, we're going to have you hang out in our green room until the show ends. We're not going to be that much longer.
All
But
right.
thank you so much for coming on
Thank you,
tonight.
Pavithra.
Thanks for entertaining us with your stories and letting us into your life. I hope you had a great time while you were here with us, too.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for inviting me on. I had so much fun here. So
Awesome.
Awesome.
I just made 3 new friends. It was great.
We're so good at this.
Aw.
I mean, I'm so good at this. Don't worry.
Of course.
I work with children sometimes. But
What?
I swear.
What
I
did,
was being an
Have a
adult
good
right
night,
now.
Pavithra. We will talk to you in a short bit, okay? Hang
All
out.
right.
Don't go anywhere.
All
Thanks.
right.
Oh,
man,
gosh, you guys.
it's always fun talking to people that are like
Better than
leaps
us?
and bounds.
Right.
Yeah.
Because all I have is just side. I just got side remarks.
I
That's
got a
all
microphone.
Right. You got Grey's Anatomy jokes.
You got Gray's hair jokes.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. I can't believe y'all didn't know who McDreamy is. You guys.
Why
are a
would
bunch-
Sandy
I
doesn't
thought
watch
it was.
TV at
I
all
thought
unless
it was
it's true
Dairy
crime.
Queen that
bunch
served
of
those.
losers.
Right? Is that what you buy at Dairy Queen?
I
A
don't
McDreamy?
consider myself a loser because I don't know what a
McDreamy.
McDreamy. Oh, you know what? I see what you're thinking of. I would think that was at McDonald's though, Sandy, because it's always mixed something there.
Oh, not Dairy. What is it called?
McDouble, McFlurry,
McFlurry is
McFlurry, McDreamy.
McDonald's, yeah.
That's what I was thinking when you said that.
McDowell's.
No.
They have the McDouble. We got the McDouble here. I love Coming to America. Anyway.
I digress.
Comedy movie.
We
of all
digress.
time.
We digress.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right, everyone, listen up.
What do we got coming tomorrow? Who's come? Sandy, you got something coming tomorrow?
I think I am going to have a mini episode finally, and then, yeah, I'm going to have something. I am.
Awesome. So check it
You
out.
have to tune in because it's great. I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm so sorry I have to interrupt you. So I'm going to do my mini-sode on my purse set, and then I'm going to have like one my opinion that I have to tell everybody about. But anyway, it's going to be great.
So next week, I already booked our guest for next Wednesday, and she's gonna come, and it's pretty cool because she actually runs a spooky podcast and Facebook page on all things paranormal, and she was the guest.
Renee?
She was with Renee actually on Friday.
Oh, really?
But, yeah. But this time, she was like, "What ghost stories do you want me to tell?" Blah blah. All this. I was like, "No, you're missing the point. I actually want to focus on just you. I don't want. It's not your stories or anything else. We want
We
to
don't
shine
want
the
those
spotlight on
fake
you."
stories.
Oh,
Anyway.
now. Speak for yourself. You ain't speaking for me or Sandy, so we do want to hear it. But I told her, I was like, "We're going to be focusing on you, though. So bring your stories."
Are you saying views and expressions of Joe might not be views and expressions of the show? Is that what you're trying to say?
Right. The rolling of the eyes does not.
What Joe states does not speak for everyone on here. Okay.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
Yes, it does.
But anyhow, we will return Monday evening, and so make sure you tune in with us.
And
anything
Sunday,
else?
our sister show. Is our sister show going on Sunday?
Don't say that because you said that last time.
Let's
They
not say
didn't.
anything about that right now because I don't know
Okay, never mind.
if they are going to be able to or not.
Right.
All right, everyone.
Be
We're gonna get
kind
there.
and rewind. I forget. Oh yeah. Oops. I already said it. I'm not gonna repeat it.
Look for and meet new friends.
Yeah, filthy animals.
We gave
Good
Joe
night,
too good of a
everybody.
job on this one. Joe gets it too easy.
I get
You need to help
Yeah,
us.
that's his 2%. He
Good
got
night,
guns
two
up.
everybody.
words.
We love
Guns
y'all.
up, Pavithra.